You are tuned to ARP on the Accelerated Radio Network. It's 12 noon, and it's time to have lunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Bringing money talk you can understand. And now here's your host, Miss Charline.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Miss Charline, and welcome to Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Today we have a really interesting topic. We're calling it Christmas in July. And the reason for this Christmas in July series is because people in America spend a lot of money at Christmas time. And a lot of it is related to emotion, guilt, and the feeling of the need to give things to other people. And it will put us in a financial bind. So today with our show called Christmas in July, we're going to try and kind of take this whole theory apart of shopping in December, and we're going to start our Christmas shopping in July. So today we have our money stylist with us again, Miss Ari Gold. Hi, Ari.
Hi, everybody.
Ari, it's so good to see you again and to talk to you. I wanted to make sure everyone knows that if you want to show this series to your friends, you'll be able to do so by going to our YouTube channel, Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Subscribe, and you can see all of our past issues, but in particular this one, because I think this will help set us up for not having that stress-related shopping that we do in December. So let's get started. So, Ari, now, you being a money stylist, do you run into this challenge on an ongoing basis with people who stress out about holiday time?
I do, and actually, so there's a little tool that I will make available on my website for everybody, which is the holiday planner. And what happens is that oftentimes people overspend or they wait till the last minute, and that actually increases your cost if you're running out to the store because you forgot a gift for, your neighbor across the street, and you're just going to grab whatever is available at the store. So costs go up, stress heightens, everything. It makes what should be a really fun, warm holiday season something that you don't look forward to, or that you have to decompress from afterwards, or that you're regretting afterwards, or that you're looking at bills and credit card statements afterwards. And so if we start early in July, we can make sure that come Christmas, the holidays, November, December, that you are prepared, that you are sitting back, that you are ready to have the best holiday season of your life.
I love it. So let's put together a plan, because the thing that I love about talking to you and interviewing you is the fact that you give us real concrete things that we can work with and things that we can move into to make this not such a stressful time. So how do we start? How do we start with the whole Christmas in July so that we're not stressed out in December?
So the first thing I would do is go to my website, www.themoneystylist.com.
Okay.
Look for the freebies page.
Okay.
On the freebies page, you're going to see the holiday planner. And it's an Excel spreadsheet, and you're going to download it. It comes with a PDF ebook.
Okay.
It is from the Financial Recovery Institute, which is where I have my credentials from. And it's going to kind of walk you through different ways to make sure that you have a very calm, serene, soulful holiday season. So start there. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start thinking now about all the things, kind of think back about last year. What things do you not want to repeat?
Right.
Were there any last minute snafus that you had to go into crisis control? Were there gifts that you forgot to get? And what you're going to want to do is start thinking, how do you want this holiday season to be? Do you want this holiday season, is it a gift giving thing, or is it a potluck thing, or what events do you want to host? What events do you want to go to? And you're going to start sort of jotting that down and planning it out and thinking about who you get gifts for and thinking about what you want to spend on people.
Right.
So it's sort of backing into, if you come up with a plan, then you can come up with the numbers.
Exactly.
And then you can save those numbers, as opposed to just waiting till November and running around to the stores and buying all the presents. And it gives you time, once you know who you want to buy presents for and who you want to give gifts for and what parties you want to have, to really think about something that is a gift that they will remember. Because I often tell my clients, think about the last holiday season. Can you remember what people gave you?
Right.
And most of the time, unless it's a really big ticket item or something that you've been wanting for a long time, the answer is probably no. I mean,
Right.
I can't remember what I was given last holiday season.
Right.
But I do remember the memories.
Exactly.
You know, so if finances are tight, maybe think about, you know, this coming year, what kind of events you want to, you know, potlucks or family gatherings that you want to have
Right.
in lieu of gifts, or like, you know, if you want to organize a Secret Santa instead. So if you start thinking now,
Right.
you can start planning, and you have 6 months, and it won't be stressful, and you won't be trying to come up with it on December 1st.
Because we all know that, you know, when you get to about October 15th till the end of October, you start getting all these invitations to events that are going to last from, you know, Thanksgiving through New Year's. And all these Christmas parties and things like that. And then the host of the Christmas party, what do you take them if you were invited to a Christmas party? You know, the people at different gatherings that you're going to be a part of for work or as a social group or whatever you're a part of, who in that group you need to give a gift to. Then there's your family. And then there are your children if you have children, and grandchildren if you have grandchildren, and then extended family. And the list winds up going on and on and on. And we know statistically, and we'll give some statistics here in a moment, but statistically, most people in January are riddled with debt. They have so much additional debt because of that 30 days of emotional buying. And like you said, you buy gifts for people who, or someone, you know, gives you a gift and you didn't realize they were going to get you a gift. So now you're panicked and you're out running around trying to find something to give them. And it's just such a stressful way of spending the holiday season, you know, and that's not what it was originally meant for. And I mean, we've even lost the meaning of Christmas, but that's a whole other show.
Yeah.
But you know, since we're all in this gift giving and receiving situation at Christmas time, just going through the steps calmly, like you said, in July, I think is a wonderful way of doing it. So when we came up with the concept for the show, we thought, why not give our listeners a way of budgeting for Christmas and walking through it without being stressed out and having that guilt in January. You know, there are certain people who they have a hard time paying their bills in January because they've spent so much money on Christmas, and it just starts the year out wrong. So now as an adult, you know, and we're going into the season, so how do we create this budget? How do we create the budget? I know that, you know, you put down the names of the people that you need to buy gifts for, right? And the events that you're going to go to that may require you to even wear holiday attire, because that's another big place we spend money. And then if we have friends, relatives, and things like that, what events we're going to with them that may cause us to have to go into our budget. So where do we start with that? I know you have the things on your website. Yes. But as a person, once I get this, I download and I get it in front of me, you know, and I start going through the steps, you know, is there a cutoff or limit on how many people I should give a gift to?
Well, the good news is that the holiday planner it has a bunch of preset categories that you might not have even thought about, because most people don't even think about, oh, if I'm going to a holiday party, I have to hire a babysitter.
Right.
So there's childcare involved, and there is, you know, there are party decorations involved. There are so many things that you probably wouldn't think of until that moment. And so the holiday planner has a bunch of preset categories, and which is really to get your mind going. So so what I always do is I think about, okay, who bought me gifts last year? Do I feel that I do need to get them a gift? Because you don't necessarily need to get somebody a gift if they get you a gift.
But you feel like you do.
You may feel like you do, but they are giving you a gift because they want to. You know, and you don't necessarily need to give them a gift in return. You could give them an experience. You could have them over to your house. You could, you know, there's so many things. If you're financially trying to, you know, cut back,
right,
you don't have to get everybody a gift. So I start by thinking about all the events that I want to go to.
Right.
And then I always make a little, you know, second line, the things that come up that I didn't maybe know, and I'll put a little where I feel comfortable spending money. So say, for example, I know I have my work party and I'm going to need to take a cake, or I need to get little party gifts for everybody.
Right.
And let's say I know there's going to be a New Year's party, and I know that, my friend is having her annual Christmas party. So I'll list all of those things, but I'll put a nice little sort of just in case line, just in case. And I'll say to myself, okay, just in case I forgot something, how much am I comfortable putting, spending for the just in cases? And,
Right.
it might be, you really want to tap into, because you'll find a point where you don't feel comfortable. Like if I threw out $1,000, I don't feel comfortable spending $1,000 on parties that I forgot about, or
Right.
or just got invited to at the last minute. But for me, I might feel comfortable at $200.
Right.
So that's where I'll say, okay, I want to make sure I have $200 put aside for those just in cases or those last minute invitations. And the same thing goes for gifts. Is I'll think about who I want to buy gifts for, and I will come up with a number where I feel comfortable. So
Right.
I don't, or if I know at this point in time what I want to buy them, if it's something that I've been meaning, that I've really wanted to get them for a while, I might know what what the price is.
Right.
And then I'll sort of write their name down, and I'll write what I want to spend. If I don't know what I'm going to get them, I'll think about where I feel comfortable. Some of my nieces and nephews, I don't feel comfortable spending $100 on a
Each
10-year-old.
one, right.
So I might say, okay, on the 10-year-olds, I feel comfortable at $25. So I'm making a list of all of these different people. And once again, you're going to have a, oops, I forgot.
Right.
And maybe a line where these are just generic gifts that you wrap up. Maybe you get 4 of them.
Right.
Books or coffee table books are always fantastic.
Yes, and that's a great point that you bring up. And so let's go there, because that's the place where people wind up spending money they had not anticipated.
Yes.
And that's on those gifts, last minute gifts.
Yes.
And you're running around like a crazy person trying to, oh my goodness, get stuff for people who you didn't realize you had to buy for. And you get to the space where you're spending a lot more money than you had anticipated. So what are some of the things we can get? I know you said like books.
Coffee table
books.
Just not to out myself, but my go-to, I forgot to get you a gift is the I Love Humans of New York. And they have their Facebook page and their Instagram in a book, which is stories about people's lives, which are inspirational. So that's my,
okay.
So if I got that, I would love it. So that's
Right.
sort of my go-to. So coffee table books,
I love coffee table books.
I always, try to get something, maybe a couple good bottles of wine that sit in your house.
Yes.
And the good news is if you don't end up giving away, you can
drink them.
So there's, just things that are non-gender specific,
Yes.
things that people would actually really like.
Enjoy, use,
yeah.
or consume.
Exactly.
Right.
It doesn't, giving somebody a gift that doesn't have a purpose, they're just going to put it in the closet and give
That's
it away
right.
next year. And then it makes the gift giving process sort of, it defeats the purpose.
And it becomes very robotic.
Exactly.
Almost.
And so I usually keep a few extra, those things around the holidays, but I've planned for them. I made sure that I said, okay, this year I'm going to put $150 aside for just those small things.
Right.
And those type of things come in if you miss a birthday or, so if you don't
Right.
use them at Christmas, you'll use them down the line.
Yeah.
But I put money aside for those specific things so that I don't have to run around on December 24th trying to find something for
Right.
people.
Right.
And because also your time is valuable.
Exactly.
And your sanity is valuable. And on December 24th, if you are looking for a gift, you will probably buy whatever is available
That's
still
right.
next to the counter. And it might be a meaningless gift just for the sheer fact of having something to wrap.
Right.
So start seeing where you're comfortable
Right.
spending, because if you might find, okay, if I plan ahead, I'm comfortable at $25, and maybe you think about last year where you didn't plan ahead and you ended up spending $55 on that person, which is double where your
Right.
comfort level
Exactly.
is. And just because you needed to have something to wrap.
Exactly.
So-
And then when you talk about wrapping gifts, because that's stirring around in my head too, you can get such cute gift bags, when they're on sale, and, if you know how many you need,
Yes.
you go into that whole supply and demand thing. So you have your gift bags, and you can find cute little trinkets to decorate the bags with. And, you know, then you're not so stressed out also. And like you said, our time is so important that who wants to spend all day Saturday, at least I don't, running around trying to figure out what to buy for a person that I may or may not know their taste that well.